Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to install a push to start into a Toyota Probox. Alright guys, so stay tuned. Alright, so my first step was to unbox this push to start system. Alright. Um Inside we have the first thing we're looking at is our remote engine start module.
The next thing we have is our ignition coil wire harness, right? And then these two antennas are our two low frequency antennas. And we have another wire harness, we have a reset switch, and we have our push to start remotes. It comes with two. You can use one at a time. That way you have a spare and you have one to use. Just trying to locate a correct position where I can put this push to start switch. The next step is to take down the understeering where we can locate our wire harness. That's where most of the work is gonna be done. Alright, here we're looking at our key barrel. The wire harness should be located under the key barrel. That's the one disconnecting right now. Alright, at this point in time, we're gonna need our digital multimeter and also our manual. Alright, the first thing we're gonna do is put our digital multimeter on DC voltage and then use our manual. Our first wire that we're gonna connect is our positive 12 battery. Alright, so what we have to do, we have to search on the old ignition wire harness for a positive 12 voltage. Right? Whenever we find that positive 12 voltage, we're gonna connect our red wire on the new wire harness to that 12 voltage. Alright, so what you want to do, our old wire harness comes with 6 ports. You can test all 6. Once you put one of the leads, the multimeter leads, in a port and touch a ground, the one that gives you the 12 volts is the battery 12 that we're looking for. So that's the wire we're gonna connect the red wire to. Alright. And there it is, guys. We have found it. It is the white wire with the blue strip running along it. That wire carries positive 12 straight from the battery. So what we're gonna do next is to strip that wire and then connect our red wire to it. Alright, we are not going to cut off the old ignition wire harness. Why? Just in case the customer decide that he or she wants to disconnect the push to start and go back to key start, you can always disconnect the new wire harness and ensure that you tape the old wire harness very good. That way we don't have any electrical shorts cause fire in the car. And you can just plug on back everything and you should be okay. Hence, that's the reason why we're not gonna cut off the old wire harness. Right? Once we have connected our wires, we're either gonna tape it, solder it, or use heat shrink on it to prevent electrical shock, shorts, etc. Moving right along, our next wire that we're going to connect is our ground wire, which is the black wire on our new wire harness. Right, so gonna strip this black wire and find a suitable ground to ground it on. The ground is very, very important. You have to ensure that you make this grounding very strong. It cannot be slacked or anything else. You're gonna have problems with your push to start coming on and off. So please to make a very good ground. Alright, preferably on the car's chassis. Moving right along, our next wire is gonna be our brown wire, which is gonna be connected to our second ignition wire. How do we locate this second ignition? So on our key barrel, the on position represents our second ignition, right? So the first thing you want to do is reconnect the old ignition wire harness back to its original position and then turn the key to the on position. Alright, after that you're gonna use your digital multimeter to test for the 12 voltage. You're gonna need one lead on ground and then the other lead. You're gonna test one of the 5 wires because we already know that the white with the blue strips is the 12 volt from the battery. So once you get 12 voltage while the key position is in the on, now you know that's your second ignition. Alright, points to note. Remember now, accessories and on both have 12 voltage. So in order to not mix them up, you gotta turn the key to the off position, and if you see where the 12 volt comes off, you know that you have found your second ignition power. If it stays on, it means that wire is a straight 12 or battery 12. So we have found the wire. It is the small black wire with some gray stripes on it. That is for our ignition 2, or this wire has 12 volts when it's in the on position on the key barrel. So we're gonna connect our brown wire from the new ignition wire harness to that wire, because the brown wire represents the on or the ignition 2. Alright. Next step is our blue wire, which goes to our accessories. So what you want to do is turn the key to accessories, and then same procedure.
Good man.
You're gonna need to find a ground, and
Yeah,
you're gonna also need to use one of the probe leads to test for the 12 volt while the key barrel is in the accessories position. Once we have accomplished that, once we have accomplished our 12 volt for our accessories, we're gonna go ahead and connect the blue wire from the new wire harness, ignition harness, to that blue wire with the red stripe running along it on the old ignition wire harness. Alright, because that wire represents our accessories wire. Sorry. So we're just gonna go ahead and connect it, and then we're gonna tape it to ensure safety. Safety is paramount. Alright. Once we have finished taping out our blue wire, we're gonna move along to the white wire. It is also connected to ignition 2. Alright, but there's 2 wires on the wire harness that is connected to the on position. You have the small black wire with the gray stripe that we found already, which we connect our brown wire to, and then there's a thick black wire with a yellow stripe running along it. That's the one you're gonna connect your white wire to. Our next step is to connect our yellow wire. That wire goes to the starter wire. In order to accomplish this, you have to find a suitable ground to put one of your multimeter lead, and then the other lead on the existing wire. Then what you want to do is turn the key to the start position, like slightly turn on and off. If there's a change in voltage, then you know you got the right wire for the starter. So this wire for the starter is also a small black, straight black wire. Alright, so that's the one you're gonna connect your yellow wire from the new ignition harness to. Alright. So we have found all the wires for our ignition wire harness, and we have connected all of them. What we want to go do is run through and see that all of them are taped out properly. Alright, remember, safety is paramount. We're gonna move along to our small wire harness. On this harness, we have a few wires that we are gonna use. We have our white wire, which is gonna go to our foot brake. It's gonna be connected to the positive 12 volts. When you hold the brake, that 12 volt comes on, which ignites your brake light. That's the wire we're gonna connect the white wire from the small wire harness to. And then we have our brown wire, which we're gonna use to connect to our fuel pump. So the positive 12 volt that runs your fuel pump, we're gonna connect the brown wire from the small wire harness to that wire. All right, and that is the one I'm doing right now. How to locate this fuel pump wire? Every car have different location where the fuel pump is. All you need to do is find out where your fuel pump is, and then use a digital multimeter to test for 12 volts whenever you turn your key in the on position, which is ignition. There should be a 12 volt on that wire going to the fuel pump, and whenever you switch the key off, you should see it comes off. So that's why you want to look for on the fuel pump. Once you find that wire, that's the one that you would connect the brown wire to. All right, so after that, we are going to locate our foot brake connection, and there it is. It has two wires. It has a positive 12, all right, and this foot brake has a switch. The foot brake is basically a switch. All right, it is in the closed position at the moment. Whenever you hold the brake, all right, you open the switch, which allows the brake light to ignite around the back. All right, so there's always a straight 12 voltage on one of the wires. The other 12 volt only occurs when you press the brake down. All right, so you need to connect the white wire to that one where your 12 volt only appears when you hold the brake. The reason I didn't use the other wires, all right, was because I have already had a alarm system on the car, and then I don't need to connect the trunk. If you need to press a button to open your trunk, you can always connect that wire, but I don't need it. And yes guys, this is the finishing job. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake and press the button, and the car should start up. All right, it also has a feature where you can use the remote. You just need to hold down the lock button for like 3 seconds, and the car automatically starts from outside. That is the reason we have the two antennas. Basically do the same thing to turn it off. Alright, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hope I have spread some knowledge, and until next time.